Hey everyone, it's LaShonda from Labors of Love here with another Therapy Thursday. And today I want to talk about racing a ghost. So it occurred to me as I was doing some consultation with the school district that I work with that there are so many educators who have a tremendous amount of stress, anxiety, frustration, sadness around the fact that they are not able to guide students to the academic level that they would normally guide them if there had not been a global pandemic. So, some teachers are looking at where their students are along the curriculum or their lesson plans right now and realizing that they are pretty significantly far behind where they would normally be this time of year. And I know that it's not just educators who are struggling with this idea of accomplishment, achievement, and just progress based on where people thought they would be or where they think they should be. And so I began to think about Mario Kart. It's one of my favorite games. I don't play a lot of video games, but one that I do and I really enjoy is Mario Kart. And one of the ways you can play the game is you can do a timed race, meaning you pick a course and you run the race, and you're not racing against anyone else. You're racing against the clock. And when you're finished with that race, you have this time. How long did it take you to finish the course? Well, you can go back to the course and you can race again. And this time you're racing your ghost. So you are trying to beat the time that you set before. And I think right now, as we are in the beginning of 2021, there are a lot of us who have found ourselves in a position where we are racing our ghost. We're racing expectations that we've made for ourselves before we've made adjustments to a global pandemic. I'm not suggesting that it's not okay to have goals, that we don't strive for things, but I do think there is a certain amount of grace that we need to extend to ourselves and to others when we realize that we've not just had to make some pivots. Pivot seems such an insignificant word to describe the shifting and the accommodating we've had to do during times of COVID. And so I just thought I would share today and encourage you to take an opportunity to say, are my expectations realistic for the reality that I'm in? So if this hand represents expectation and this hand represents reality, the space in between is disappointment. And within disappointment is sometimes things like shame and guilt, resentment, fear can all be wrapped up into that middle space. And so we have an option. If we want to decrease that disappointment, shame, resentment, and all those things, we need these two things to be closer together. And so what I'll even do is I'll even stop doing it this way. Let's look at it this way. Because sometimes people feel like they shouldn't have to lower their expectation. And it's not as much about lowering an expectation as it is adjusting our expectation to meet the reality that we're in. When we don't adjust our expectations to accommodate for the reality that we're living in, we will find ourselves being more and more frustrated and trying to control reality. Now, while there are some aspects of our reality we can control, those things have to do with us. What can I do? What can I say? What can I not do? What can I not say? But what we don't have control over are what other people do, what nature does, and things like that. And so, as we are moving further into 2021, I encourage us to take inventory. How much effort, energy, and resources am I putting into things that I cannot control? And how different would my life be if I stopped focusing effort, energy, and resources on things I couldn't control and redirect them to things that I can? How different would your life be if you adjusted your expectations to account for all of the things that you've had to shift and re-navigate around because of COVID and other circumstances? The goal here is not to minimize accomplishment, but to realize that when we race a ghost on a course that does not have the same obstacles that we have right now, we will likely lose every time and we get frustrated. Let's acknowledge that this is a different course. Even if some things feel the same and we're trying to measure success and accomplishment the same way, it's unfair to not take into account all of the challenges that we've had to face. So I want to continue to encourage us and empower us to control the things that we can control, knowing that we don't have to do what we've always done. If you'd like to reach out to me, please visit my website, www.thelaborsoflove.com. We're on all the major social media outlets. Don't forget our new Instagram page specifically for our podcast, _LOL_pod. And don't forget our podcast. Please rate, 5-star rating, give us that review, and share with your friends. Until we connect again, you all be well.